Bam, here we are. It's good to see you all. Hope you had a nice long 4th of July weekend, Independence Day. I smoked some tri-tip, finished it off with a reverse sear in a smoking hot cast iron pan with some butter and some garlic and some rosemary. Oh my God. The best tri-tip I've ever eaten in my life. It was just amazing. There's leftovers. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go have like a tri-tip sandwich when we're done. Oh, magnificent. Whoa, sorry. Welcome out, everybody, to the Tradespoon Live Trading Room, Stocks and Options. Closing bell. I'm Scott, head trading coach. Here we talk about the market. We talk about smoking delicious meats. We talk about imbibing on festive beverages. We cover a lot of ground. So I'm glad you could join me. The fireworks, man, there was a lot. It just kept going and going and going. It was a little loud, a little like, oh, come on. Okay, we're done here. A little bit about me. This is my old slide. I don't know why it keeps reverting back. 24 years trading, 20 years teaching. These are the disclosures. Be careful out there. And let's get into it. Can you guys hear me? It's light today. I don't know why. I feel like the markets, usually I can gauge how people are doing based on attendance levels. And it tends to drop a little bit during tough markets and then pick back up in better markets. And I'm like, it's a little light. Like, hey, what's going on? This market's pretty okay. So good afternoon, John. Good to see you. Wonderful Wednesday to you, Dennis. Ate too much. Is that a thing? It's not when you're eating the most delicious tri-tip you've ever eaten in your life. I hear that you guys on the East Coast don't eat a lot of tri-tip. I hear that's more of it's like more West Coast, kind of like started out big in Cali. It's big on the West Coast, but I don't think that's like a cut of meat you appreciate on the East Coast, but you should. Randall says it's all good in Southern California. Southern California, you should, Randall knows. He knows the delights of a good tri-tip, probably. Oh, that's right. Kobayashi in the hot dog contest, 62, I think, off of his record of 73. But you ate 20 hot dogs in 10 minutes? That's insane. I could only eat like 3 hot dogs. I watched a guy on YouTube named Beard Meets Food. And it's this guy with a beard, and he goes in and does all these like restaurant food challenges. It's insane. I mean, it's just, I don't see how they can pack that much food in. Like, it's insane. Anyway, let's talk about some market stuff. Markets are down, but they're not down as, I mean, it's like we started down around 0.5%. Got it back, gave it, dropped again, back again. Right? It's not just tech. All kinds of stocks are hitting highs. If you're not understanding that until they put it here, we're way too late. We've been talking about communication services and consumer discretionary. We've talked about how industrials added to the mix, and we talked about some even a bit of financials, although financials not as much. But yes, like again, everybody wants to talk about recession. Where are you seeing this? The jobs, the employment report is not just like jobs. The unemployment claims are down, jobs are up, job openings is up. Everything about the market looks good. Corporate's been good. GM, Q2 sales jump 18% as new car demand rebounds. Yeah, China's data is down. Okay. We'll get more. We'll get some more data here shortly. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything here. The super bubble in stocks and housing will burst, but the AI boom may delay the class. I really don't even see this AI boom. Like, yes, there's been some software stocks and some chip stocks that have done, but it's not like some new .com bubble. Like, there's not that much breadth in AI in general, right? Where's the breadth? There's a few, it's not like there's like hundreds and hundreds of companies and they're all doing so great and it's carrying, right? They make it seem like the AI boom is like the next .com, but it's not. Like Jeremy Grantham, I think is, you're past your prime, my friend. You're past your prime. Almost all Fed officials agreed to skip the June hike. Great. If they would have raised it, fine. If they raise it next time a quarter of a point, fine. We can handle it. That's what I see. Now, if they don't have to because prices continue coming down, great. What's going on with the housing market? Prices are staying pretty high. I mean, it's like everybody keeps thinking. Legendary investor Jeremy Grantham says the stock market has a 70% chance of crashing. Right? Nice. He's like, oh, it's more probable than not. But if it doesn't, he's like, well, I said 70. So there's a 30% chance it doesn't. I hate it. I don't like that at all. Let's keep going. What else do we need to discuss? Tell me if you feel like I'm missing anything. Factory orders came back a little lighter than expected, but still positive. Nothing in the Fed minutes. That came out around 12 o'clock. Right here. The Fed minutes came out and it dropped back down to not even the open, but close to session lows. And then within 10 minutes, immediately got it all back and then some. And where are we now? We're back at highs. In fact, we're veering on positivity overall. However, and this is a big however, I still have concerns in the VIX, and the VIX seems to be giving me a hedge signal today. Anyone else see that? It almost came on Monday. If on Monday it would have closed above 14, I would have put it on. It didn't. It recovered. It stayed fine. And here's the thing. I've actually trimmed and taken profits on pretty much most of my bullish trades. We got another 6-7 day window. Everything looked pretty good. There's really nothing there that's that concerning as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, let's get a quiz. Let's zoom in here. Okay, A's. It's got to get back up into the highs of the day. B's, I'm going to go right across those lows there. Anything below 443, you're a C. Between 443 and 443.60, you're a B. It's only a 60-cent range, B's. And then above 443.60 is an A. I should put it at 443.60. That's really right there, the higher line. Okay, give it to me. Give it to me. What do you see here? Who's going to do what? C for John. C for Jacques. B for Brad. B for Brad. Oh, where is everybody? Come on, we got to get this quiz going. Randall's abstaining today. He's like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Brad. I'm gonna go B. I think we're gonna test a little higher. I think we're just gonna kind of sink down to about 443.30 or so, right around this moving average. I think we're gonna end up in that range right there. All right, I'm gonna give you this. We've got not a lot of answerers today. Maybe there's just no confidence in it. I get it. Let's take this down to intraday. And come 2 o'clock, Stella says we will close at 443.80. 443.80. Stella's an A. Stella is an A. Anybody else? Whew, come on, where are my people at? All right, fair enough. And look at that. I say A, and the buyers start coming in. They're pushing. Okay. What else do we want to talk about? We're pushing this same high. It's the same high. You can see your stochastics is rolling over, though. The volume is real light. So it's going to have a hard time breaking through that level, if you ask me. Also, we're on day 6 of this bounce. That's really about all we're getting these days, is about 6 days. So do I feel like we are on the verge of the next consolidation? Yes, I do. I do feel like that. Give me your thoughts. Okay, let's. So yeah, am I looking to put new trades on with this picture? It just went up for 6 days. The stochastics is overbought. It's rolling over. No. What's my other concern? This is my concern. That was my line on Monday. On Monday, I said, if it gets above here, which is about 14, I'm going to buy the puts. If it's between 1370 and 14, I was going to decide based on how many trades I had left. And I actually closed most of what I had left. Only have a couple of things really still running for this bullish cycle. If it dropped below that number, 13.7, then I don't do anything. What did it do? Drop below. But what's happening today? Today, we're right back above 14. But barely. And we have 45 minutes left. So if we get a little bit of a rally, it could push itself back below 14 and into this range down here. So this is not certain by any stretch right now. There's still, we've got to give it some time. Where would I buy my put? 5% out of the money would be about 422. I actually said I would go to 420 just to get to a round number. So I would probably go to July 420s. July is a little longer than I typically do. And I'm a little further out of the money than I typically do. Why am I willing to do that? Because options are super cheap right now. They're super cheap. So I'm much more willing to make that happen. Okay. Yes, we'll come back to this, but certainly I'm thinking about it, right? I'm thinking about it. Okay, what else do we know? Tomorrow, ADP. Last time we were expecting like 170, we got 278. Huge surprise. This time we're expecting 220. Even if we just get what's expected, that is a growing labor market. It's very favorable. Weekly jobless claims, we dropped back below 250. Last time we were at 239. We're expecting 245. Trade deficit looks like it's expected to narrow a little bit. Job openings, that's another positive surprise from last month. We were expecting like 9.5 to 9.4 to drop to like 8.9, and it ended up jumping to 10.1. Now they're expecting it to stay. We have 10 million job openings. Unemployment on Friday, you can see down here, is expected down to 3.6. Right? 3.6. So let's take a look at that and see what that means. So if I have a calculator, where is it? If I have 160 million people in the workforce, approximately, and I have 3.6% unemployment, that's 5.7 million people. And we have 10 million jobs. So it's less than two jobs for every unemployed worker, theoretically. I know. I get that there are concerns people have with these numbers, and are they underreported? Is there capitulation? Blah, blah, blah. I get that. But at the end of the day, this has stayed strong and the market has stayed strong. So what does that mean? It means I'm not expecting anything to change. You look at non-farm payrolls. We expected the same thing. We almost doubled what they were expecting last time. This time they're expecting 240. I mean, at some point we might get a negative surprise. And if and when we do, then it'll be like, oh, wait a second. Things don't look quite as good as they did. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But, okay, nothing else we can do about that. Now let's take a look at our predictions, broader term. Stella, we had some conversations, her and I, right? She got a little bearish for a minute there. How far off would payroll have to be to make a difference? I mean, it would have to be like under 100,000, I think, for it to really shake things up, quite honestly. I mean, at this point, I'm thinking that we are going to have another quarter point hike no matter what, just because they're like, let's give it another nudge just in case. And we have the ability to sustain it. So that's a good question. Maybe we should only count those folks that are looking for a job and not make-believe job hunters. What do you think about that? I mean, like I said, right? Is there capitulation? Do people like check out of the job force? Certainly. But here's what I think. If you want to work, there's work. That's how I would define it. If you want to work, there's work. Is it exactly the work you want? Maybe not. But yes, Fred's recognizing it. Stella and I, we had a counseling session on Monday. We talked, we said, okay, and we reconciled. And now she sees a small consolidation followed by a large jump. I'll tell you what, if I put a hedge on, you did miss the quiz, you're a B. B is for Bob. Sorry. You missed the quiz, you're a B, Bob. Also, welcome. Yeah, this looks great. I agree. If we get this little 3-day consolidation and it stabilizes at a higher low, 100% I think it's going to smash up. This is correlating not just to what we're seeing here, but also what we're seeing here, right? We have a small consolidation typically in this period of time, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and then bam, we jump. So the cyclical shows it. The model shows it. My market posture is bullish. I'm at a 5. It's been there for 3 weeks. Yeah. When is earnings? Oh, good question. Let's talk about earnings. Banks first. Yeah, typically I'm a creature of habit. And so I always go to Alcoa. But then I'm like, okay, so Alcoa, okay, we got a little bit of time. We've got a couple weeks. July 19th, it's my son's birthday. He turns 21. When did I get old enough to have a legal drinker? That doesn't make sense to me. 21. But we'll see. Let's see. JP Morgan is on the 14th. That's probably the kickoff. The 14th. So about a week and a half, give or take, we'll start to see the earnings come in. Things have been pretty good with earnings, right? No, nothing to worry about. Oh, look at JP Morgan, really smashed up. I've been seeing more strength. I've been seeing more strength in the financials. Yeah. So I think that there may be some setups here. I like your thought process there, Bobby said. Time for a rally before. Right? I like that. And I think that's what we're looking for. I'm definitely looking for another move. There's no reason we shouldn't be. Now, am I still going to hedge? Probably so. Fred says, I think the bank earnings and commentary might throw a little sand in the market's gears. It's going to be interesting because I do feel like as long as as long as the banks aren't failing, it's almost like we've lowered the bar for them. Based on the fact that we had some failures and some companies that they look to be borderline insolvent, so it's like now all of a sudden, it's almost like we've lowered the bar. Like, oh well, as long as they're not going bankrupt, everything's okay, right? So interesting, but Stella is bullish on the SPY, as is the cyclical chart bullish. Looking for a small pullback, looking for a move here for the latter 2 to 3 weeks of July. Bob says I would get out prior to. I agree if it was around that. Bear spread on XLF. Okay, fair enough. Irrational exuberance. Maybe, but is it irrational or is there a rationale for it? I see strong jobs. We had a better than expected GDP. Inflation's coming down. We're outpacing by jobs, by inflation, and by post-pandemic growth everybody else in the G7. We're in a leadership position, which is where we should expect ourselves to be. Let's go look at the other indices. So not quite as bullish on technology, which is interesting because that's where I've been most bullish is technology. However, there's time for Stella to come around. Let's take a look at the Dow. The Dow looks not as strong as the S&P, but strong. Still looking for a bullish move. And the Russell, remember the Russell's one that I've seen more participation in. And Stella says there's more to come. So if I have 3 and the NASDAQ is the only one not, I'm still leaning that way. I still say consensus. Stella still likes what she sees. I'm okay with all of that. Here's today's heat map. Meta is strong. Meta was weird. I've traded Meta a few times. In hindsight, I can be like, yeah, I see where the consolidation is now. I talked about it. I didn't like the signal. I felt like it was just sort of grinding in a basing pattern. So missed that one. Fair enough. I can live with that. I'm not gonna I'm not going to worry too much about that. But she has. Fred makes a good point. She's gotten less bearish on the Qs. Today is interesting. Materials are getting beat up and utilities are rallying. I don't love utilities rallying ever. I just don't love utilities. But is it unexpected when we're in what we would consider to be a consolidative period? No, it's 100% expected. If other things are going to start pulling back, which is what I'm looking for, you see it in semiconductors, you see it in technology and software, a bit in financials, not communication services quite yet. I've had a great trade on Netflix. Lagging sectors catching up to tech. Agreed. Agreed. There's my posture if anyone wants to see it. So, it's been pretty bullish here since, I would say, we had just a little hiccup in early May where it dropped. I was bullish in April, bullish in March and April, a little hiccup in May, but I stayed bullish, right? I stayed positive. It wasn't very bullish. It definitely dropped into the bullish end of neutral, but then very quickly right back out of it by May 21st. We're now what? Well, for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, everything's been great. No concerns. We look at the market. Look at the dollar creeping up. Ooh, I haven't looked at the dollar for a little while. UUP is what I use for that. Strength of dollar bullish index. Yeah, it's trying to get back up in there. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. Okay, let's dive into the watch list. Let's go through it. Apple exuberance. So I closed my Apple, but I traded Apple. Apple was one. You know I love Apple. I got out of Apple yesterday, was my last bit. Why? Well, because look, it was deviating from what was left. I'm not gonna be like, well, maybe it comes. No, that's it. Done. Good trade, profitable trade. Give me a hell yes if you made some money on Apple here in the last week. AI. Oh, look at that. See, you was starting to die on the vine, some of these AI stocks. Already. I mean, we've been watching some of these. But that one reinvigorated. Yeah. AMAT, that's one I traded, got out earlier this week. What day is today? I did not ride this. I got out last week. That's a lie. I got out on Friday. On Friday, I closed the rest of it. Then it moved up, and I'm like, oh. And then today, I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Now what? I want to trade it again. It just made a higher high. What do I want to do? If it makes a higher low, I want to trade it again. That's what I want to do on all of these. Apple, same thing. Amazon, I did not take. I feel like it's been grinding a little bit more. BLDR has been a very strong industrial stock. Waiting for that to consolidate down. CPRT, same thing. CrowdStrike, that was an interesting one. I didn't end up taking CrowdStrike because I did trade a couple of other of these AI software companies. CrowdStrike, you can see it's not looking good. The buyers have had the floor for like 6 days. What have they done with it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Cisco is one I traded. I actually shut the rest of it down today. It's recovered. I didn't like the way this looked. I still think it's going to kind of go into recovery. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. You think closing of Apple may be the trade of the month? We'll see. We'll see. I want to trade it again. I definitely want to trade it again. Dow still looks okay. DraftKings made a nice move up, and I mean, most of what I've been watching and trading is doing this. It's getting overbought. It's starting to hook. It's starting to roll over. So what am I doing? I'm trimming. I'm taking profits. And then going from there. So, yes. Okay. Flex, that's one that I took. Trimmed most of it on Monday. On Friday, it still looked great. That's what it looked. This is what it looked like on Friday. Looked great. Plenty of upside. Then on Monday, it did this. Trimmed half. Trimmed the rest. Now what? Now I'd like to trade it again. I want to trade these again. All of these that are getting trimmed and profit taking, we'll go from that. Okay. GLD, not looking great. Not a lot of defensiveness there. Oh, Hal. That's perfect. Right in alphabetical order. Halliburton. Halliburton, yes. I mean, it's energy related, right? Oil. I don't love that, but I definitely think this pulling back, it did make a new high. Higher low, higher high, pull back. Yeah, opportunity. IBM. That was an interesting one. I did not trade IBM, but it did catch a little bit. I don't know. If it did a higher low, if it held above the 50 this time, I think I probably would take that. IWM looks pretty good. I was just about to. I never actually took it back here. Higher low, I'm going to trade it. I do think, based on the analysis that I've seen, that there is additional money flowing into small caps. So definitely keeping an eye on that. Jets. Oh man, it's frustrating, right? Because I was wanting this one. I saw this pullback. I was waiting, and then I didn't turn that on to see it during the day. I won't trade that after. It did get some follow through. I won't trade that. That's just outside of my wheelhouse. I needed it to give me a signal in here. And if it would have given me a signal in here, that would have been magnificent. Now what? I'll wait for it. I'm patient. Caught a lot of things. Didn't catch everything. Mickey Donald's. I did not. I thought about that one too. Made a nice move. Gave it back. It's just kind of hanging out. We'll see. Meta. Okay, so Meta. I don't know about Meta. Vlad has traded rig quite successfully a few times in the past couple of weeks. In that same vein, I agree. So, like I said, in hindsight, it's a little more clear that this is our consolidation and it's turning. But realistically, that's the first day. I don't like it. I want to see something like this. That one I did trade. That one did go well. I want that. So great. Let's see if this goes up a little higher, stabilizes. Maybe it pulls back down, higher low. Now I'm in. I'll be patient. No reason to force. I'm ready for that. Monster, I think I'm going to get rid of Monster. I just don't like the way it's moving right now. Marvell. I'm going to get rid of Marvell. I don't like the way Marvell's moving for a chip stock. I like AMAT. I like AMD. I like NVIDIA. I like Taiwan, although Taiwan doesn't look great today either. We'll see that. Microsoft. Yeah, I had another one that just didn't fly. Microsoft is embroiled in the situation with Activision is kind of just derailing it a little bit. I'll keep my eye on it, and as long as it doesn't break lows, I'll still be interested. Netflix has been fantastic. Anybody take this Netflix trade with me? We talked about this. Signal came right here. No, right here. Come on now. Come on, Scott. Signal came right here, actually. I didn't like the doji, so I got in on the open of the next day. Bam. On the open, 423. Where are we now? Pop, 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 pop. Now we're up here. What am I thinking? I'm at resistance, old resistance, doji, pinching, half, gone. Half is gone, just like that. That's all it needs, right? I'm 5 days in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in. So it's got to keep going or else I'm going to take the rest of it off, but it's great. It's a good profitable trade. NVIDIA was just put on last week. It's not moving great. It's not moving very strongly. It's also not going wrong. Anybody in NVIDIA? I love the stock. I love the trade, but it's just not working right now. I'm going to give it one more day, and then I'm going to really start to get aggressive on scaling out of that. Oracle never really got going. It looked like it wanted to, though, right? I mean, it really looked like it wanted to. PHM, nothing there. Needs to consolidate a little bit. PLTR, I actually closed the rest of it yesterday, or what? Not yesterday, Monday. I still had good stochastics, but I didn't like doji. I mean, just like 1, 2, 3 in a row. So I'm not in this last little bit. Okay, that's fine. This is one that Vlad has traded, I know. This is one that we've looked at here. It gave a good signal right there. Bam, ready to go. QQQ. I don't see where anybody looks at the NASDAQ and feels bearish. Look at that trend. Oh, my goodness gracious. It looks fantastic. Now, if we double top, well, that changes a lot of things. I don't know that we're necessarily going to double top just yet. I still think there's plenty in the cards. Plenty in the cards to go higher. RCL looks like it's overbought, needs to consolidate. The stochastics looks like it wants to try to turn higher again. Not for me. I'm not going to trade that. SMCI is another one that I took. So SMCI and PLTR were my two favorite. And it's moved pretty well. And once again, I bailed yesterday. Anybody else in any of these? I bailed yesterday. Why? Because I had a red candle near resistance. Stochastics actually hooked. It hooked. So what did I do? I closed it. SPY. Oh, we're just right. Knocking on the door. Not yesterday. I mean, sorry. I keep saying yesterday, but I mean Monday. The last trading day. Bear with me because I'm going to keep saying it. So I don't mean yesterday. I mean Monday. On the half day. SPY. We are just flirting with going positive today, and yet we don't. I don't know. I mean, it's like a lot of things. It's overbought. It's pinching on the stochastics. It looks like it's about to turn. I look at this and I see a consolidation developing. So if Vlad, the volatility is ridiculously low, right? Options are cheap, which is why if I buy some puts at resistance when they're cheap, yeah, no harm, no foul, right? Tesla overbought but it still looks okay. Taiwan Semiconductor tried to start moving. It's failing. I'm actually going to just live with what I have. AMD, AMAT, Nvidia, those are my semiconductor horses. I'm going to get rid of TSM. It's just not doing what I would like it to do. We look at the VIX. Oh, the VIX. Okay, so let's talk about this. What about Flex? I love Flex. I traded Flex. Absolutely. Right? That's on the list right here. But I got out half yesterday, the rest today. Boom, boom. Good profit. Looking for this to consolidate. Anything above 26. Anything above 26 is going to give us a new opportunity here. How about this for a question? What stocks am I missing from this watch list? What are you trading that looks good that's not here? Let's share. People helping people. The spirit of giving. Any of it? No? Thank you, Bob. Spotify. Spotify's an old favorite. Spotify. It's a little bit of a grinder right now. I mean, I guess it kind of gave a signal right in here. I feel like it's overbought, but on a pullback, I would like it. Oh, come on. John's pulling my leg. It's pulling my leg. DWAC. I haven't looked at that in a while. Oh, what's the news today? What's the news today on that? I don't even know how it works anymore. Is this the stock that owns Truth Central? Is that how it works? I don't even know. Yes. Jets could fly higher. I think it's going to consolidate, but I'm still bullish on the whole sector. Yeah. 100%. I mean, that's a nice move, 18%. We went from 1250 to almost 15, but yeah, this thing has been an absolute dog. We gapped up here, and then it just kind of fell down again. I don't know. SEC settlement. Okay. A dog with fleas, sort of. I kind of have to agree with you. Okay. Somebody said Nicola. Nicola. NKLA. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna maybe it makes a run towards 2 again. Then we pull back. Riven. Yes, Riven is expecting to start putting some Amazon trucks on the road. Is it this year or next year? I don't even know. But we definitely want to definitely want to see what it's doing. Riven Automotive. The EVs are like pot stocks, I think sometimes. It's easy to get complacent, take your eye off. I mean, when's the last time we looked at pot stocks? Why? Because they're garbage. Look at them. They're penny stocks now. Aurora Cannabis was I thought it was higher than that. What am I thinking of? I can't even remember some. GWPF, Pharmaceuticals. Oh, that got merged. Aurora Cannabis, Tilray. Thank you, Fred. Pot and Farm, TLRY. Tilray, $1.63. Potash. No, that's an old fertilizer, but I don't know what happened to them. Yeah, the pot stocks are just they're garbage. I mean, they're just trash, unfortunately, you know. Let's go back in. Okay, so the VIX is still showing a turn. What would that mean that we're gonna do? Let's finish the list and we'll come back and we'll look at a put. If you have bullish trades on, especially, the more bullish trades you have on, the more you should think about this. If you don't have very much on, this might even be speculative. So the VIX says that even though it's come down from the high, we're still turning up, which makes this a higher low, and that's a signal. Wayfair. I love Wayfair. That was a great stock. Great stock. Now what? Now let's wait for it to come back. I would say anywhere between 55 and 60 going to be wide open, ready to go again. XLE is energy rolling over. It's not a new high, but it's the same high. Financials. Vlad apparently has a bear call on this. I mean, it does look like it's hitting resistance. And overall, it's mostly sideways. But in the last little bit, for me, I feel like, you know, something like this might be representative. I don't know. It did get slightly to a higher high, not by much. XLI, industrials look great, but they look like they're going through a consolidation. So if it's consolidating, then let's get ready to trade it again. What? CPRT, BLDR, Caterpillar, Boeing, John Deere, CMI, Cummins Engines, maybe even some transports, right, up in there. Look at CMI. Looks fantastic, CMI. It looks beautiful. Love it. I'm going to add it to the list. What's the volume? The volume's not great. I'm not going to add it to the list. I swear this used to trade more. I swear it did. Here's John Deere. John Deere looks pretty good. That's in the same boat. Here's Caterpillar. Caterpillar, not as good. They're a little off cycle. So I'd say John Deere right now. Boeing. Boeing looks a little bit more in the cycle of Deere. What else do we have in industrials? Railroads, maybe? UPS, maybe? Let's see. UPS, how does delivery look? Looks pretty good. I'd trade that on a consolidation. Let's get some of these in here. Let's get Deere. Let's get UPS. Did I get UPS? Yes. Let's get what else do we want? UNP? No. How did staffing get into industrials? I'm curious about ADP. I feel like my watch list is getting a little stale. So I'm looking for some new things. RCL is consolidating, agreed. So are the airlines. Little pullback. We may have a good opportunity there. XLP, are we getting defensive? Not really, not yet. Utilities is up today. Yeah, but it's not even to the resistance. I'm still fine with that. Consumer discretionary still looks very good. Overall, I would say that everything is status quo. I'm bullish. I wouldn't say strongly bullish, but I would say solidly bullish. What sectors do I like? I like technology, particularly semiconductors and software. I like Apple. I like chips. I like some AI software companies. Those have all done very well. It's been a good month, right? June was a good month. I like communication services, still in Netflix. Netflix looks good. I like consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary looks pretty good. I like industrials. Looks increasingly good. I like financials. Need to find some financials. Maybe a few more financials and a few more financials and a few more industrials would be helpful, I think. What else? Am I missing any other stocks that you think I should be watching? Let me know. Let me see. Lily, Bob says. Ooh. Okay, I like IR, Ingersoll Rand. IR. Yes, makes sense. Industrial, not a bad one to add. I am not feeling healthcare, though. I can tell you that. I'm not feeling healthcare. Convince me I'm wrong. CRM. I have been watching CRM, Salesforce, but look what it's doing. It's got to break that consolidation triangle. CSX. That's railroads, right? Industrial. Yes. Yes. I like CSX. I'm going to add it to the list. Higher high. Starting to consolidate. I get to watch the consolidate. A lot of people would be like, oh, CSX is good, but why didn't you tell me about it 2 weeks ago? Look, 2 weeks ago, it might have been right here. Wait 3 days. Wait for the turnaround. Let's go. Let's go. That's a great one, Jacques. Merci. Merci beaucoup. I like CSX. That's what I'm looking for. Visa moving wildly lately. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the credit cards. Visa. I think we went with MasterCard most recently, right? Oh, yeah. Breaking out. Breaking out. We never really got the breakout. I didn't consider this the breakout. I don't know. Maybe some people did, not me. That's the breakout. Now waiting. What else do we have? We got MasterCard. MasterCard looks pretty good. AXP looks pretty good. Discover Card. No, let's see. DS. Discover Card. DS. I'm blanking. DSCA? CVA? Holy shit. Why can't I remember this? Sorry. Holy crap. DFS. Why did I think it was something other than that? No, it's not bad. AXP, cup and handle? Yeah. Well, I mean, you could kind of go back and look at this whole thing as one big cup. Whoops. And then most recently, the handle. I think it's going to pull back again, though. So, oh, that could be interesting. Bottom line. Real fast. Real quickly here. This is what, oh, no, that's not it. If you're going to put this trade on, you've got 2 minutes. What's the trade? SPY. Here's the VIX. You can see the VIX is turned. Yeah. So what would that put me at? That would put me at August's. And I would be thinking the 320s, 420s, $1.87. August 420s, $1.87. Right? What would that look like? Let's take a look. If it breaks out, where's half? So if I ended up putting, let's say, 4 of these on, well, even 2 of these on. Oh, goodness. 2 of these on. You know what? I'm going to put these on with the group. Analyze trade. Right now, where are these? Oh gosh, I just sort of got distracted by the time. Right now, these are trading at 420. And let's get a couple of these on. The trigger's on. The trigger is on. It's up to you if you decide you think something like that makes sense. I'm willing to take a loss on that. I'm not hedging very much. I don't have very much left. A couple of remnants, mostly trimmed. If you're in the same place, you could skip it. If you're like, I don't know, Scott, great. But the signal's there, so I'm going to put it on. I would love nothing more for this market to pull back 2-3 days and then turn, and all of a sudden we've got a whole slew of new bullish signals, and I have to eat a little on that put. Nothing wrong with that at all. So let's give a gold medal. Who wins? 443. Oh, that looks like the bees. Bees, you win. Shiny gold medal, bees, enjoy. A's and C's, try harder next time. Join me in Friday morning, please. Join me Friday morning. Let's talk about this some more. We're through the weirdness, looking for some bullishness. Let's see if we get a mild consolidation. We'll go from there. Thanks, everybody. It's great to see you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy trading.